It's up, up, and away!
We are leaving for Antigua.
That's right. We took an 8-hour flight out of Columbus, Ohio, and headed for paradise.
At the Sandals Grande Antigua Resort in the island nation of Antigua and Barbuda.
On our trip to the Caribbean islands, we were joined by Brian and Danny. Our viewers should remember Brian. He's the lead man of the band Deuce and a Quarter.
And here he is taking time off from touring, and we all met up in Antigua. Plus, we went on a very informative off-resort excursion with them, and that excursion's called the Taste of Antigua.
We started our exploration of Antigua cuisine in a passenger van that picked us up at the Sandals Resort and transported us into another world.
The tropics were a new and exciting world to us, and we expected to find different and fascinating foods.
Wait, is that a KFC?
Yep, that's a KFC.
Not the kind of food experience we were looking for. As our tour guide put it, we wanted to be Lyman.
Lyman. As it was told to us, Lyman is the experience of hanging out with friends to kick back and relax, to have a beer and just chill out.
And that's just what we did in the streets of St. John, the capital of Antigua and Barbuda. So let's start by introducing our tour guide on the Taste of Antigua excursion.
My name is Heather, from this beautiful island of Antigua Barbuda with 365 beaches. You're at one beach, which is over at Sandals. So, is it your first time?
Yes. First time.
So, you're going to make a list of the beaches you have gone to. And remember, I said 365 beaches, one for each day of the year. So, you're going to see how many you can discover on this trip, and then you're going to have to keep coming until you discover all 365 beaches. And they're all white sand.
Heather said we were going to have a Sunday morning breakfast at Annette's, a popular spot with the locals, but it wasn't popular with these Americans.
We received teaser portions in small styrofoam containers. The greens are called chop-up, or said slowly, chop-up. The green chop-up contains one or many types of greens, from collards to cabbage, and it's all chopped up together.
These are not your mother's collards, and the rest was a nearly cold morsel of mackerel, an unimpressive biscuit, a totally unwanted half-boiled egg, a pointless garnish of lettuce and tomato slivers.
To say it was bad is an understatement. I was longing for a good fillet of catfish to replace that tough mackerel, and Heather had something to say about that too.
You're not a fan of fish?
This particular, I don't do fish stew or stuff like that, so I'm more of a fried catfish kind of guy. Better than
the American style.
Yeah.
So we left the nets on even pavement, but as we went further into the city, the pavement changed.
You got to be very careful of the sidewalks. They're crooked, they're uneven, and the reason why we have them like this is to keep you alert. So you got to be alert and careful you don't stumble on them. Okay?
All right. Upon Heather's advice, we carefully made our way to the next stop, called Quinn Ferraras, a rum joint in St. John's.
Quinn Ferraras offers much more than just spirits. During our visit, we learned the history of the rum shop and made our own rum punch with all the necessary ingredients laid out.
Mind you, there was no limit on alcohol content. We were free to pour and pour and pour and pour and pour.
Had we face planted on the uneven pavement, I think the liquor would have numbed the pain.
I think it would have. There were so many ways, too, to make that rum punch, from choosing nutmeg to cinnamon, dried fruits, lemon, and so much more we could have included.
So after toasting to our new creations, it was time to set off to our next destination,
which was a place called Roadie King. They specialize in a dish called roadie.
A roadie is wrapped in a chapati, their version of a tortilla wrap. It's stuffed with curry filling of either beef, chicken, shrimp, conch, or vegetables, and mixed with spiced potatoes.
Now, we had the chicken. It was so very filling. I wasn't even sure we could fit another bite during our Taste of Antigua excursion.
I think the tropic heat and walking prepared us for the next stop, which was Smoothie Palace.
Dr. Eddie.
Dr. Eddie.
Dr. Eddie.
This place was special too. There was a van parked on the side of a busy street with an electrical cord jimmied up to a blender. Now, thankfully, there was a tent that shaded us from the blazing sun.
Smoothie Palace is operated by Eddie. He used to be a mixologist by trade, but now he's really big into natural foods. He's what they call a naturalist.
Now, the smoothies were really good. Never had anything like it. It's kind of hard to describe, so I'll just let Eddie explain.
What's in here?
So what all is in your smoothie?
Yeah, what's in this stuff?
I combine the soursop that you have natural, mango and passion fruit.
Passion fruit.
Yes, and it's 100% natural. There's no artificial flavor or anything.
Oh my.
With Smoothie Palace behind us, we proceeded to Brownies Bakery, a popular place for buns consisting of bread, butter, and cheese.
While their menu offers more than their famous buns, the buns are really the star there. You know, the brown bread is dense and the cheese is kind of similar to Velveeta.
The buns are served warm and are a must to have in Antigua for Sunday dinner or a late night snack.
In other words, after a night of revelry, Antiguans are not headed to White Castle or Waffle House. For them, it's Brownies Bakery.
All the way. Following our encounter with toasty buns, we stopped by Patty Delight.
Nestled just off the street, Patty Delight specializes in delicious Jamaican patties. We could tell it was a hot spot for the locals, and they filled our orders quickly.
The toasty patties are visually appealing and tasty too. It's kind of like a hamburger, but with a Jamaican spicy flair.
Think of it as a hamburger sandwich between thin, flaky bread. It also includes cheese, lettuce, and a tomato.
On our way to the last stop on our Taste of Antigua excursion, we saw some very interesting statues.
Our guide described the statues as the Prime Minister, his wife, and their child. As of 2022, Antigua and Barbuda had 4 Prime Ministers, so I really don't know which one this is. But one thing is for sure, the man and the woman are very revealing on the skin, although the lady doesn't seem to be very happy about it.
Following the encounter with the Prime Minister's family, we walked over to One Stone Idol Shack, where idol is vital for your survival.
This place is a vegan establishment with unique foods and drinks.
Here's Heather with more about this place.
Now, One Stone, just as Eddie, he believed in you what you eat and what you drink. Most of his product come from either his garden or the farmers around him.
Our guide bought us here not for the veggie clay pot creations, but rather for some veggie balls and the various juices they offer. And there are many different flavors available.
I say mango? Did I say mango?
Yeah.
Mango. Golden apple. Tambran. Lemon. Peanut punch. Beet with sugar and without. Cucumber without sugar. Sorrel. And ginger beer.
We tried their potato spinach balls, and I must say they were delicious with their refreshing house-made juices.
The beet juice. All right, it tastes just like beets, only it's liquid. There's something in here that almost tastes like ginger. Do I like it? Let me put it this way. This is something I think I could get used to.
Having finished up at the One Stone Item Shack, we were met again by our passenger van driver for a trip back to the resort.
Our excursion in St. John's, Antigua was entertaining, informative, and gave us a glimpse of the local cuisine.
Now, this is the first episode of many that we're going to do on our adventures in Antigua.
Come back and see what else we have in store on Forks, Knives, and Spoons.